What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. So this is, I don't know if any of you know, but I make games sometimes, and this is a game that I made for Ludum Dare 46. I don't even think I'm pronouncing it right, but it's called Midnight Technician. In case you don't know, Ludum Dare is a game jam, which essentially means you have 48 hours, or I guess 72 hours in this case, or the jam time doesn't matter. You have a certain amount of time to create a game around some specific theme, and there's usually a lot of different people who take part all at once. So I made this in pretty much 2 days. The third day was just like very, very minor stuff. I really didn't work on it as much as I should have on the last day. But yeah, basically let's just jump into it. I'm gonna start out with not hard mode. You'll see I have 2 stars here. That basically just shows your completion. That means I've done the easy mode and the hard mode so far on this like save. And you don't have impossible mode unlocked until you get these 2 stars. So I'm just gonna do the default easy mode first off. There's some like hint text down here I added. It is kind of hard to like keep track of that while you're playing the game, but essentially the idea is that you're this little dude and you just have to keep these terminals alive, and that was the theme of the jam. It was keep it alive, and then every 15 seconds or so a power-up will spawn somewhere in the center that you can use to help charge them faster, and you basically just have to survive from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Yes, I do know the Five Nights at Freddy's parallels. We'll talk about that soon. And then every hour the terminals start to speed up a little bit. So it's not, you know, you can click on them when you're close, but you don't even need to actually click on them. You just need to left click anywhere, which makes it a lot easier. You'll see that risk meter is getting pretty high, and as that happens, you need to come over here, grab your wrench, and fix the terminal. Otherwise it will you aren't able to do that. So I just used the power up on accident that froze one of the terminals. It basically just freezes the terminal with the lowest amount currently. So that's actually really useful for when a terminal breaks, which probably won't be happening here for a while. I'm just gonna pick these up because they're kind of in the way. A lot of strategy, especially on hard mode, is preserving your power-ups for later times. Like, I didn't need either of those. I can still click perfectly fine. The POW power-up basically just lets, like, when you click, you see how it goes up a certain amount? It just double that when you get POW. So, also they are called POW boxes, not POW blocks, so it cannot be sued by Nintendo. I really am hoping, yeah, see, so that one's gonna explode. We can wait a bit so it becomes the smallest one. So then instead of needing to go grab our wrench, we can just freeze it, and then it automatically fixes itself. And you might notice, this song in the background is kind of a banger. It was made by my friend Slinton. I literally contacted halfway through the jam and said, I have no idea how to make music. Can you make something for me? And he was like, yeah. And I think he only spent like a total of 2 hours on this, and it's literally so sick. It's actually really good. So I'm really, really happy with how that turned out. I also did I did all of the sound effects myself. You'll notice how, here, I'll let one of the terminals get down pretty low. You'll notice how, I don't know how well you can hear the sound effects, but basically, whenever you click on one, it does the little ticking sound effect. And that is actually, the pitch of that is based on like how low it is, and I feel like that makes it, okay, that didn't really work out too well because I had the power up, so I didn't get as many clicks in as I'd like, but yeah, it goes like, it's pretty sick, not even gonna lie. I like that little variety I added. So that power up I just picked up because there's a lot on the playing field. As I said, you don't really need to conserve power-ups on this easier difficulty, but for hard mode, you definitely aren't gonna have this many power-ups just sitting here because you're gonna be using them. But the battery just automatically refills all of the terminals. So, yeah, that's the game. That's all 3 of the power-ups. That's the objective. And you just have to survive until 6 a.m. The wrench, at first, was a little bit confusing for people because originally I had it mapped to left-click, where you'd come up here and you'd left-click on it again. And that would, what's it called? That would, yeah, put it in your hand, and then you could left-click to put it back. Except a lot of people were having issues where when you, this was like during playtesting, this was before I uploaded, because I had people playtest my game, where like they'd be running by and then preemptively be clicking and they'd accidentally grab it. I should probably, not really actually playing the game very much. So I needed to map it to right click, which is kind of confusing for new people, but I think it is a lot better than having it mapped to left click, which just makes it frustrating to play when you like accidentally pick up the wrench, because when you're holding the wrench, you can't charge the terminals. That's just for fixing broken terminals. I also like the little risk meter that I added here. Like, it's at 77%, so you're like, okay, I'm prepared. I know that one's about to break down, so then, you know, it can still technically break at like 0%, but the chances of that happening are pretty low. And originally it was just every time you clicked, it was a random like 1 in whatever. It depends on the difficulty what the actual chance was. I think for this it was like 150 or something. Every time you clicked, it was just a 1 in 150 chance the terminal would break down, but this makes it a percentage chance. Now you notice we're at 5 AM here, so the music speeds up and it gets kind of intense, especially on hard mode, where it's actually like a challenge. Honestly, even this mode is pretty difficult. I'm just, you know, the one who made the game, so I'm much better at it than your average person. So I am going to do this first try here. Not too sure about hard mode. I still struggle with that quite a bit. A lot of it is random based on, you know, how much terminals break down and stuff, but I do think the risk meter helps alleviate a lot of that, because before you could, like, break down a terminal, fix it, and then it would break down again the next click, then you have to fix it again, and then it would just break down again, and it was not that great. But this helps make it so that, you know, terminals don't just break down every single time you click them, basically, if you get really unlucky. Because I mean, you can still get unlucky and have it break down multiple times. Oh, I was at 98% there. Can I have that one break? Yeah. There we go. We made it to 6 AM on easy mode, and that would get you your first star here. You do have hard mode unlocked from the start. You don't have impossible mode, though. So here, I'm just going to try hard mode. Not sure how well this will go. I'm probably going to have to concentrate a bit more, click a bit faster. I do believe... So for hard mode, the terminals just start out decreasing faster. Every time you click, it isn't as, like, powerful. The chances of a terminal breaking down are more likely. And, what else changes? I don't think your movement speed changes at all for hard mode. For impossible mode, it does. But like you'll see here, we're already getting kind of difficult here. So we definitely need to save the power-ups for when things get more difficult at 5 AM. Because 5 AM, like, you can literally die seconds before you're going to beat the game. It's very intense. I do feel pretty proud of how didn't mean to pick that up, of how I balanced the difficulty here. Because for new players, even the easy mode is pretty difficult. But for hard mode, like once you've still mastered the game, it's still like not super easy, and it's very stressful. A lot of people on the Game Jam page have commented that the difficulty is tweaked really well, and it like really gets you into it, because it's like, oh god, I'm gonna die. I think the fast music really helps put that there too. I don't know if picking that up was the best idea. So, I don't know. I was feeling good about this game at first. I made all these graphics, by the way, before I even really started work on the game, because I had the concept in my head, and it was going to be a bit different at first. Instead of going around and, like, clicking terminals like this, it was just going to be, you had to... Oh, God. Oh, it happened! Ah! Okay. See what I mean? It was gonna be, it's hard to talk during hard mode, bro. This is not easy. It was gonna be, you had to go around and, like, click on different terminals that would then open up, like, another screen that would be, like, a little fixing minigame, like one of those, you know, pipe flipping games, like, or, like, cut the right electric wire or something. But I felt like having to implement 4 different minigames into the small time I had to make a jam game would not be the greatest idea. So I scrapped that. I don't know if picking that up was the best idea, but we're going with it. Terminal's definitely about to break. Oh, I didn't want to freeze that one. Okay. So I just made it so you have to click on them, and I wasn't really feeling too confident about that at first, because I was like, okay, you're just going around and clicking and doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know about this, but I think it worked out really well in the end, because a lot of the playtesters told me, like, yeah, this is pretty sick. And then after actually playing it myself, like, while not working on developing it, I was like, oh yeah, this is actually really, like, sick and intense. Going back to the art, I did make all of this the night that the jam was announced, and then I went to bed and started working on the actual game the next morning. I think this art's alright. I think it's pretty cute. the dithering effect around the edge of the screen, I have never done any dithering effect even remotely similar to this before. So that was kind of all new for me. I was really pushing it there. And I think it turned out really well. Honestly, like, I'm kind of shocked. All I really had to do was have it so there was, you know, the black all around the outside. And then the next, like, layer would be like, okay, it'd be like 75% black. And then the next one would be like 50-50 split. And then the next one would be, like 25% black, and then it'd be those like little dots you can see around the edge. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I was really proud with how I did that dithering, so I kind of kept the same pattern on these terminals here. I don't think it looks that great. If I could go back and, again, I mean, I can still change it, but I think it's fine. I would go back and I would fix the terminals, because I don't know. The dithering on the terminals don't look super great without the button on them, which only appears when you get close. Okay, we're at 4 a.m. I'm gonna have to chill out a little bit. I didn't mean to use that. We're pretty well stocked up for 5. I don't know how close that is. I haven't really been counting. Each night lasts around 5 minutes and 30 seconds. It's really getting hard to click these things up fast enough now, you can see. It takes a lot of clicks and a lot of time. Oh my god. You can really push it with these things. Alright, I'm gonna boost all. Hope I get good power up. Oh, yeah, see, like, I cannot afford to use these, like, power-ups that I don't need to use right now. Should be 5 in the next, like, couple seconds, I think. Yep, here we go. Okay. Just gonna... You have to stall as long as you can without activating a power-up. I'm gonna activate this. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't mean to use that. Oh, my god. Oh, I'm so screwed. Oh, I need something good here. Okay, that's good, that's good. Only like 20 seconds, maybe. Oh, I need to use this. Okay, that's really good because the terminal's gonna break down. Come on. 15 seconds. Oh my god. Oh my god. See what I mean? Like, if I make... Oh my god. Oh. So I made that look easy because I did it on my first try, but I was not expecting to do that on my first try. Impossible mode, I'm pretty sure it's actually impossible without, like, an auto-clicker, because it's just ever so slightly more difficult than hard mode, and hard mode is already, like, tipping towards, like, what's possible or not. So... It does get you going, yeah. Honestly, most of the things I make, I'm not really super fond of, but this is the first thing I've made in a while where I'm like, wow, like I think this is fun, because, you know, you're your biggest critic, and other people telling me they like it is one thing, but, like, I actually enjoy it as well, which is pretty sick. You do get a 3rd star for beating impossible mode. I'm not gonna do that. I think the furthest I made it was like 3 a.m. Couldn't make it past then. So yeah, I'll leave a link to the game's download in the description. If you can beat hard mode, send me a screenshot on Twitter, leave a comment. I think that'd be pretty sick, because I think, as far as I know, the only people to beat hard mode is me and only me. No one's left a comment on the Ludum Dare page saying they've beaten hard mode, which I feel like they would flaunt if they did. I feel like most people just play the easy mode and then move on, because that's difficult enough for most people who just pick up the game, which is fair, because it does take a while to get good enough to beat hard mode. But yeah, that's going to be the game. Download link in the description. Subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, see you next time.